a Sapphire Running Zone podcast.
Hi everyone, this is Tim from the Sapphire Running Zone, and this is another in our podcast series. And I am with Olivia today, and Olivia is running for Scoliosis Support and Research. She's doing the Brighton Marathon. She's a first-time marathon runner, first-time fundraiser. So we're going to have a chat with Olivia and sort of get to grips with how she's feeling about the whole thing. Welcome, Olivia, and tell us why you chose Scoliosis Support and Research and why the Brighton Marathon.
Hi. So my husband previously said to me whether I would ever be up for a marathon. I had always said that I wouldn't do a marathon out of choice. I wouldn't personally sign myself up for one, but I would only ever do one for Scoliosis Support and Research. And Will reached out on an email to say they were accepting charity places for London Marathon, Brighton Marathon, and I put myself forward for Brighton. It is my first marathon. I've only done a few half marathons, but yeah, Brighton is local to me. It's only about 20 minutes away, and I love Brighton.
And you haven't been running for that long, though, have you? Give us a little bit of your running story so far.
So I first started running about 2 years ago. Before that, I couldn't run at all. I was diagnosed with scoliosis around that time, about 2 years ago. I was standing in a shop waiting for trying on a prom dress. And my mum had said to me, Olivia, stand up straight. And I'm thinking, I am standing up straight. And didn't know that I was standing slightly wonky. And I didn't think anything more of it. And I wasn't fussed, so I left it. And then it's not until that you're in pain or that you're in discomfort do you start looking into it. And I'd actually gone for a massage, and this lady had said, "Oh, do you know that you've got a curved spine?" And was none the wiser. And I got myself sent off to the doctors, but the waiting list was so long that I did actually pay privately to get seen slightly sooner, because it was all of a sudden went 0 to 100 with the pain. It feels like I was a different person back then. I was back and forth up to London because they were putting me forward for the correction surgery, which I had very mixed emotions about. In the amongst of the hospital appointments going forward for the surgery, they found in an MRI scan that I had a cyst on my spinal cord, which meant that they wouldn't touch me with the surgery, so I wasn't able to have it. So it was looking as though I was going to have the cyst removed. That was too risky. So I just get monitored every so often, which is really good. But I needed a change. I felt like I'd lost my identity. I went through a lot of changes. Hair color was changed. Everything was changed. Wardrobe was changed. I found running and absolutely loved it. It was painful at the start. I was still in a lot of pain. And yeah, I think it changes your mindset. It just makes you really strong.
So you found that it's really helped you come to terms with scoliosis
Yeah.
and how you deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really helped massively. It's changed everything for me. Even mindset wise, it's never been about how I look physically. It's never been about to keep weight down, or it's never been anything like that. It's just more to help me mentally and to deal with things. I think it comes with its benefits. It comes with the fact that I don't get nowhere near as much pain as I used to. It does fluctuate. I still get it, but it's nowhere near as bad. I think it definitely, changes your mindset hugely.
So you would have got your entry confirmed probably August time. So how did you feel at the time when Will messaged you and said, right, you've got a spot in Brighton, and how are you feeling now? Because it's quite overwhelming, isn't it, at the start when you suddenly realise that you're going to be running your first marathon?
It is. It's a strange feeling, because you suddenly it's making the decision to do it and to put yourself out there, because you're committing, and you're committing to fundraise. You're committing obviously to do the distance and to do the training, but there's nothing more rewarding than thinking that you're going to be doing it for a charity, and that's why I had always said I'd only ever do it for this charity.
So you've come to terms with it now, and you're hopefully still in the excited phase, are you?
Yes, yeah, very much so. At the moment, we're currently, I've entered I'm doing sort of a plan I already had a plan that I use anyway. And I edited it to say that I was doing a marathon, and it just updates weekly as to what I'm doing. Yeah, and so we go out on the week, but after I finish work, it's horribly dark and usually cold. So my husband just bought a bike, and we go out together on our really long runs, and I drag him out with me.
Good. Well, that's the way
um,
to do it.
which is lovely. So yeah, really nice. We even dragged the dog with us the other day.
Good. So where are you now with your training then? What are you doing each week, and what are you up to with the long run?
So I already was able to do sort of half marathon distance. I just maintaining that sort of distance at the moment. I haven't gone over a half marathon distance recently. I sort of do anything between 40, I think, to the week before was 49K. So in a week, that's sort of, it fluctuates, but it's kind of sort of standard for what I would try and do anyway, week to week. Usually Saturday's my long run and get it over and done with on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, you're doing very well. If you're up to that kind of distance already, you're well in front of where you need to be at this stage. So
Yeah,
it's just about maintaining that and just gradually increasing those long runs just by 10 minutes a mile a week. It's about, yeah, it's about pacing yourself, and you're certainly doing a fair bit during the week, that's for sure.
it's nice to have the consistency with the days to know which days you're going out.
So you're doing what, 4 days a week?
Yeah, so I do 4 days. So it's usually a Monday. I'm a part of my local running club, which is Seaford Striders. So we run on a Wednesday evening. So I engross that into my midweek run, and then it's Thursday, and then a Saturday is the long run.
What would you say were the benefits of running clubs? Because some people prefer to run on their own, some like running with a mate. There's a lot of good things to be said for it, aren't there?
It's personally, I'd say as a woman, especially in this time of year, I really dislike going out on my own, especially after work when it's dark, and especially around near me, some areas are really poorly lit. So I don't always feel like I have the confidence. So running together with a club of people in different groups, and you can fluctuate in your groups. So some weeks I might think, oh, I've done a bit much this week. I'm going to go in something slightly slower and just have a bit of an easier run. Or then the following week, I might go in a faster group and push myself. And it's also really nice. It's really social, so that everyone's just really friendly. Yeah, it's more of like a community as well. They do social events, especially the one that I'm with anyway. We do social events, and there is actually about 50 striders doing the Brighton Marathon. So we've actually got also a WhatsApp chat that's going on, and we have having like pasta parties at the moment, nice carbs. Yeah, it's just lovely. It's really lovely. I really recommend people to even look at joining them, because it's really nice. I originally looked just because I wanted something more social. I liked that sort of aspect, and I came across the Seaford Striders.
I think in the past, running clubs generally have had a bit of a reputation for being quite sort of not elite exactly, but for faster runners, and they weren't quite so
Yeah,
interested in beginners. But I think that's changed significantly over the years. Most clubs now have got, yes, of course, there's a fast group for people that want to do a 3:30 marathon or a 3-hour marathon, but generally speaking now, they welcome beginners with open arms, don't they? Not all of them, but the
they
vast.
do. Yeah, they really do. I mean, when I first started with the Seaford Striders, they send out a weekly distribution list as to which groups do which sort of pace and distance. And I started at the very bottom group because there's always that thing of thinking I'm going to be last or I'm going to hold everyone up. And I dragged my sister with me actually because I was really nervous. And we both went, and yeah, we built it up.
You mentioned earlier on about half marathon. So what events have you got lined up in your training schedule then pre-Brighton?
So at the moment, I've just got the one half marathon. I've got Tunbridge Wells half, which is about 40 minutes away from me. So yeah, that's on the 22nd of February. So that should be a nice hilly one.
It's good. It's always good to have a race in the schedule. It really is. Which events have you done in the past?
So I've done so the first ever half marathon that I did was Plumpton trail running half marathon. So that was going from Plumpton over to Brighton, all over the Downs, which was extremely hilly. Um, and I did that with my running partner, who we trained the whole time together, which was really nice. So we both finished it together, which was lovely. And then I did the Hastings half marathon, and I've done a few 10Ks and a 10 mile.
So just back to the marathon briefly. What things make you nervous? What unknowns give you sort of any concern?
I think it's more the initial lining up when you first get there. I get it even when I go to a park run on a Saturday morning. My stomach can be in knots. So I get very nervous, but I do these things to push me out of my comfort zone so that then I'm building up on it. So like for the marathon, my stomach will still be in knots, but it would still be in knots for a half marathon, a park run, whatever it may be. But I just put my AirPods in, listen to some music and try and zone out.
Yeah, I think the good thing, because you've trained for a half marathon and done one, you know the
Yeah,
principles, the four principles of training which got you to that finish line. And it's exactly the same for a marathon. It's just more work, but it's the
yeah,
same kind of work. And I think that's the important thing. It's this principle progression that gradually you add a little bit more to your long run every week, and over time you get to the place you need to be. And obviously you're well ahead of your training schedule, so you know that you can do it. I think people get very nervous about marathons when they get closer to them, when they haven't done enough training, and they know they're going to have a tough day. The other thing that people get nervous about when they're running on a charity entry, obviously, is the fundraising. So what have you done so far, and what have you got planned?
I'm thinking with work at the moment about doing a raffle, which would be quite nice. And yeah, it's just going to keep putting the word out with my Seaford Striders with the running club, and just keep spreading the word. Luckily, I have lots of sisters who share it constantly, and yeah, and see obviously hopefully with the raffle and anything else that sort of springs to mind along the way as well.
Yeah, so the money you've raised so far, has that come primarily then from promoting it on your social media?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and what's been the average donation, would you say, at the moment?
I'd say it's about 20.
Okay, okay, which is good. Well, it is good. I think it does help when you're doing your first marathon. It's obviously a little bit harder when you've done a few and you keep going back to the same people, but the fact that this is your first one, it does definitely help. So you talked
Yeah.
there about doing a raffle or something along those lines. Have you got contacts in the business world or shops? Do you know people that are involved in that? Because obviously that's a key area when you can go and get some prizes from people that you know in retail.
Yeah, I haven't as of yet, but I was going to look into that so that I can hopefully try and get some sort of connections.
The sooner that you're able to get that kind of thing done, the better, obviously, because one of the most important things when you're fundraising for a big marathon is that you get it out of the way as soon as you can so that you can focus on the training itself, because it is quite stressful for people when they're doing their first one in particular, because they want to focus on the race. We talked about the podcast that I did recently with Claire, who's running for Scoliosis Support and Research. Was able to raise over 2,000 from a garden party that she held back in August. And one of the charities runners from last year did an amazing raffle, which raised, I think it was around £3,000, but got some great prizes. So what other thoughts did you have apart from the raffle?
Possibly some sort of cake sale or something along the park run that we have locally. I was thinking maybe something along those lines. I do have a full of money pots stashed at work, which people very kindly making their donations along the way.
Great. So you're a bit of a baker, are you?
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say an avid baker, but yeah, I could follow instruction.
Yeah, I think the good thing with the target that you've got is that it's not £2,500 that you need for London. It's a
Yeah,
nice, manageable target for what is still a really big event. I mean,
yeah,
Brighton is right up there now as one of the UK's top marathons. So for you to have a target like that is, it's decent. You should be able to smash that. I reckon you'll probably be near 1,500 by the time you're finished because
yeah. That would be lovely.
yeah, it's great that you've got that. You've got nearly 200 already, so that really does make a big difference. Um,
Yeah.
Once you've done this one, then have you got any thoughts about what might come next?
I don't know. I mean, I maybe would just think the one marathon, but I don't know. I thought I'd only ever do one half marathon. To be honest, I thought I'd never be running. So I'm open to anything. I think I will always maintain my running because of how much it's helped me. So whether I just complete the marathon distance and I maintain half marathon or just book in races every so often, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, definitely even just achieving the marathon distance is something.
Yeah, I think what's great is to have another target before you finish this one. One of the issues often for people who have finished a marathon is they then don't do any more running because
Yeah,
they've hit their goal and they really just aren't motivated to do it because, would you be out running in 5, 6 degrees on a winter's night if you didn't have a marathon on your plate? Probably not. So it's great to have that target, even if it is, a half marathon. But what I've noticed a lot of recently is marathon runners wanting to do an ultra. So
yeah.
with those great ultras that you've got near where you are, that might be next.
Yeah, yeah, there are some. There are definitely some. Yeah, it's a distance that I can't even think of, but it may very well be in my sights at some point. I wouldn't say no, but it would be something that I would consider.
Right. So let's rewind a little bit and put yourself in the position of someone who is about to get offered an entry for 2027. What would you
Ooh.
say to an absolute beginner in terms of their running? What should they do?
I would say take it slow, because the last thing you want to do is go in full pelt and get yourself injured, or you and listen to your body, especially if you've got scoliosis or if you have got any sort of health conditions. You listen to your body and just if you get niggles or if you don't feel well. Sometimes those runs where you go out and you didn't feel up to it and you come back and you feel amazing, they're the best runs. But then sometimes it's when your body says, I don't know that I can do this. I definitely would say listen, and yeah, you don't have to keep sort of when you get allocated the spot in August, you don't have to start the training then. I know a lot of people, especially in the running club, they're not starting till like now, sort of possibly. Some are even starting in January, which it depends on how you feel. I mean, I definitely would say give yourself lots of time and slowly build up to 5Ks, then 10s, and then slowly increase it bit by bit and get your confidence and find the love for running. And that's what is important. Once you find the love for it, you've got the bug.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'd also recommend joining a running club and doing events.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, absolutely recommend joining a running club. Something, yeah, even just something that holds as social events as well. And you make running friends and in the community, and then you can attend they like my club. They do quizzes and they do all sorts of different evenings, and like they're doing a Christmas do, they're doing awards night. It's really really lovely, and it helps you in these nights, especially at the moment where it's cold, it's wet, it's dark. It keeps you with that sort of, you think, oh, I'm going out Wednesday and I'm going out with the Striders or the running club, and you know that you've got that to look forward to. Whereas it can sometimes get a little bit dull if you're on your own all the time. Definitely change it up. And company is the best thing. I mean, I very rarely run on my own. I always drag someone out with me, because I can't stop talking. So I will always go out with someone.
And what about fundraising? Have you done anything so far that was a standout, or have you done anything that didn't work? Have you got some tips there?
I think it's helpful just to keep sharing your page, even in the early stages. And it's all very well to think, oh, well, it's say if you sign up or if you get the place in August, I would definitely say get the word out straight away. Don't sit on it, and start batting off some ideas.
Well, you've got a very exciting few months to come, and we're definitely going to want to have a chat with you once you finish the race. There's no doubt about that. It'll be great to get your feedback on the day and everything that happened in the lead up. So hopefully we can have a chat the week after the big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Will here from Scoliosis Support and Research. If you're looking for a great cause to run for, we'd love to have you on board. Drop me a message at fundraising@ssr.org.uk. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening to this Sapphire Running Zone podcast. Keep checking back as we have lots more podcasts coming soon.